is Miss Caitlin, and I am a teacher at the Greater Valley YMCA. And today we're going to talk about birds, and we're going to make something for the birds. But first, we're going to talk about birds. I was actually going to take you on a walk and see if we saw some birds, but it's raining today. So we have to nix that, and I found some pictures of birds. Because last week, when it was nice outside, I saw some birds nesting in my bushes, and I saw them sitting on my porch. So I thought this would be a great idea and talk about birds. So I brought up some pictures on my iPad of birds. So I'm going to go over some of them. So I don't know, you might have seen this at your house. Try not to get a glare. This is actually one of my favorite birds, if not my favorite. It's probably my second. I'll show you my favorite. This is a cardinal, and this is actually a boy cardinal. The girl cardinal is a little bit different. Her colors are more muted. The boy ones, or the males, look more vibrant and pretty. So I'm sure you've seen this. I've seen these birds plenty of times around my house, and especially in this big tree that I have out front. I always see them flying in there. This is actually the female cardinal. See, her colors aren't as vibrant or as bright as the boy one. That's because she has to camouflage when she has her babies, so she doesn't get eaten by predators and stuff like that. So her colors are more muted than the boy one. Also, just a disclaimer, I am not a bird expert. I know only a little bit about birds, so if I do get some names wrong, do not hold it against me, please. Next, you have to have seen this. I've seen these plenty of times, especially at our school. It's a robin. You know, they have that big chest that is usually bright red or a little bit more muted. That is a robin. And the next one, we all have seen these too. The crow. They're big, they're loud, they're obnoxious, but they are quite smart. But we do see them around, and probably when you see something on the road that has been killed, they're probably there. This I've seen at my old house in Forks. This is called the Goldfinch. I see them a lot eating off bird feeders, and they are quite pretty and bright, as you can see. They definitely have a very pretty gold color. Next one, I'm sure you've seen this. This is a blue jay. I have not seen them around my house too much, but when I lived in Forks Township at my old house, I did see these quite a bit. They have a very pretty blue color, and I know a bunch of my friends in my class love the color blue, so I'm sure they would love to see those. This is another one. This is called, I think, the black-eyed chickadee, if I'm right. These are tiny. They are not big birds. They are quite little, just like the goldfinch that I showed you. They are not big. They are smaller than the blue jays and the cardinals. They are tiny. They're finches, so they're not that big. They're about that big maybe, and they're tiny. As you can see, he's kind of all puffed out. It's pretty cool. And this is actually my favorite. I discovered this bird when I was in Connecticut with my family. I have family that lives there, and we used to go there all the time. And she lived in the woods, so she would have tons and tons of bird feeders out. And I would always see this guy, and he was always my favorite. He's actually called the Tufted Titmouse. I've never heard that term, but that's apparently what I think he's called. Can you guess, though, why I liked him so much? Why do you think? What looks different about him? Maybe it's his little mohawk. I think this thing on his head is the cutest little thing, and I get a kick out of it every time I see them. I don't see them around my house too much, and I didn't see them a lot at Forks, but I saw them a lot in Connecticut, and I just thought, look how cute that is. The little mohawk is so cute. I just think it's adorable. And this one is the last one. It's called the hairy woodpecker. They are quite large. I don't see them a lot around here, and I haven't seen them at my old house, but I have seen them in Connecticut. Obviously, my aunt lives in the woods, so I do see a lot of birds. This is one of them that I saw, and they do like to peck on the side of the house. And when I used to stay there, that is where the room I would stay in be. And every morning, he would peck at that wood siding. My uncle would get so mad. He would not have any idea how to get him to stop pecking at the house. He was relentless. No matter how many times he did it, he never got farther, but he kept pecking at it. So that is the hairy woodpecker. That is all the pictures I have for today that I found that I quite liked. So now that I gave you a little entry on birds, we're going to talk about what birds eat. I mean, there's only a few things that probably birds would eat, which is, what do you think? Tell me, what do you think what birds would eat? Well, when it just rained, they used to like to stay on the ground. At least what I have observed is that they stay on the ground and they peck at the ground. What do you think they're looking for? Bugs, maybe worms to eat or to feed their babies. Another thing they like to eat are berries or seeds that they find. So when I went to the store this past week, I got, it says wild bird seed. So today we're going to make some bird feeders. Does that sound like a plan? All right, let's start.